Well, okay, well, I don't know what it'll say about me then. My third and last film, neglected film, and this is really to say something about the general neglect of Australian films. Now, we go and see maybe one Australian film a year, do we? Animal Kingdom last year, whatever. But there are many good Australian films which completely fail to find an audience. And the one I'm particularly featuring, but that could be one of a number in recent years, is a film called Blessed. Blessed was made by a wonderful director, Melbourne-based director called Ana Kokkinos. It's the story of three women who are all mothers, who in one way or another have neglected their children. There are actually four mothers in the film. And then it's about their children. And the first part of the film deals with the children, and the second part of the film covers the same period, the same time frame, but deals with those same events from the point of view of the mothers. There were wonderful performances in this film from people like Miranda Otto, Deborah Lee Furness, Frances O'Connor, who is sublime in the film. She plays a working class woman who gets pregnant all the time. One of her children already has been taken away from her. She has two more who, during the course of the film, find themselves in dire danger. And the scene that I'm going to show you is a scene where she's pregnant again, and she's going before the social welfare officer played by Leo Purcell. And so this is a scene from this wonderful Australian film, but wonderful but confronting. There's some confronting dialogue in this scene, but it's a wonderful film, I think. Blessed. I find that an incredibly moving scene and an incredibly moving film. And the sad thing is, although it got good reviews, obviously it was not something that audiences wanted to see, and nobody went to see it. And Ana Kokkinos has suggested that maybe she won't make another film, which would be a tragedy for Australian cinema, I think. Why do you think people don't go and see a film as wonderful as Blessed is?
Well, yes, and I think people, regard, heavy subject matter that doesn't really have a great redemption in the film. Well, it's still a hard journey, that film. And yes, but I think people want to go and be taken away from their lives. They don't, particularly want their lives confronting them on screen. And maybe that's...
I don't doubt that, but surely there's room in our cinemas for films like Blessed.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not arguing against making it, but we're talking about why people hesitate to go to it. I mean, it's interesting, the films of the early 90s, the Priscillas, the Strictly Ballrooms, Muriel's Weddings, it was sort of like such a buoyant period in Australian cinema, and people went in droves to those films, and we thought it was going to last forever. Well, you can't make quirky comedies forever. You have to have variation in your cinema, national cinema. And I sort of think Quentin Tarantino says you've got to have genre as well as comedies, as well as, heavy-duty dramas like Lantana.
Well, but when we produce a genre film like Red Hill, which actually had the same producer as Blessed, a very, very good genre film, nobody goes to see that either.